Right, so I start by just like looking at the different like bodies, the different car bodies, and just picking out something that I find like interesting, something that piques my interest. So I'm looking at these like kind of fastback, hatchback bodies. I thought it looked interesting, so making like a bit of a sport car. So we just go with light materials. Then I decided to put a flat 6 in it, 3-liter flat 6, just because I felt like it. Chuck some valves and things on that, headers. Some pretty heavy materials because we're going to be pushing some pretty high horsepower out of this thing. I'm already deciding on that. Some fairly high RPM. We're turbocharging it, fairly large turbo. Just some normal engine tuning and things. Fairly standard stuff. Got a working engine immediately, which is a good start. 470 horsepower, try and bump that to around 500, which we've reached, and then we just want to kind of get that higher, make sure the engine's running smooth-ish if we can. Looks like it's running pretty well right now. And we are bumping about 640 horsepower at this point, which is a lot. So we're just going to be kind of optimizing the engine so it's not exploding on us. So right now it's all pretty going well. 660 horsepower, pretty 666.9 horsepower, very nice. So that's what she sounds like. Pretty Porsche sounding. I mean, the Porsche do have flat 6s, so that's pretty fair. The turbo, you're getting a lot of turbo out of it, but it sounds good. Kind of wide bodying it. I've been kind of in a wide body trend lately, so enjoying that. Trying to kind of mold the body to be a bit more flat and sporty looking. Decided on this blue because my inspiration for this car was the Alpine A110. It looks a tiny bit like the Alpine, but that was just kind of my inspiration for this build. So I'm just kind of modeling what looks good right now. Trying these weird looking headlights, this weird design I haven't tried before, and I'm like, oh yeah, looks pretty, fits the body. I think it looks pretty interesting, very Italian experimental kind of look. I think the grille fits. You got the indicators on there. Indicators on. Just a badge, just to kind of fill out the front a bit. The rear end I was struggling with. I had no idea. It was just a very weird shape on the rear end. So I just decided this weird kind of tail light design. Bit sleek, futuristic looking. Bit weird, but it fits well enough. No idea what else I would have done on the tail because it just looks very weird. Number plate because it's sport road car. Badge on the back, super simple. Then we're going to chuck a diffuser on it because it is a race car, performance vehicle. Just messing around with the size on that. Chuck some exhaust in there. Too easy. Angle them a bit, and then gonna move on to the side skirts, which are a bit weird because the shape of the body is very unusual, but they ended up fitting okay. Front splitter, just fill out the aero on the car, get that to fit the pointy front end. Door handles, just got some really sleek looking door handles. Put the fuel cap on the opposite side than I usually do. Some circular rear vision mirrors, and I wrestled with the rear wing quite a bit on this one. I didn't really know what was going to fit. I had just messed around with it for quite a while. For now, I'm like, oh, this looks okay. I revisit it at the end though, and I change it up for something a bit more dramatic, a bit more aggressive. Chuck some indicators on, was going to chuck some indicators on the back, but I think it's too much. Any more indicators, so just putting some windscreen wipers on. I'm just doing a single windscreen wiper because it's a smaller car. checking for rims, they look fine. Messed around with this kind of antenna for quite a while to try and get it to fit the right angle that I wanted while also fitting the roof. I think that looks fine, and yeah, revisiting this wing, I think this one looks better, so I just kind of fit this one to the body more. I think that looks a lot better. And then messing with some vents, air vents for some airflow. I think this looks great. Well, not great, looks good, looks decent. I'm happy with it. Messing with some gearing and some differentials. The tires, tire size, the width of the tires. Yep, brakes, aero. I'm going to put so if you put these tiny little front wings on the front, it still counts as a front wing, but you don't have to see it. So that was a little trick there. And then some suspension. And messing with the brake forces. Yep, aero, all good. Suspension. It's flashing red at me, but I mean, I like how it is. I think it's good. Then we run it around the test track. Yep. Then we name it the B220. So cool.